Hey y'all, so about a month ago I did a video where I talked about the books that I wanted to read at the last of July, the beginning of August, and then I've just posted an update video talking about all of those books and what I thought about them. So that helped me get out of my reading slump. That helped me focus on books that I wanted to read and books that I wanted to get through during those last 2 months. So I'm gonna do the same thing for September. I have never wanted to be like a TBR reader. I just am a mood reader. I don't plan out what I'm going to read. But with school being so busy and TBT being so busy and my vlog being so busy, I need some sort of like guidebook or, you know, checklist, something to help me. So I am going to film and show y'all the, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books that I hope to get through and want to get through during the month of September. I'm going to talk to you about what each one is about, why I want to read it, and then hopefully at the end of September I can come back and share my thoughts on all 6 of these. So let's jump right in and get started and talk about all the books I'm going to be reading next month. So the first book up is Renee Carlino's newest book. It's called The Last Post. Renee Carlino is an author that is just an auto-buy author for me. Anytime she has a new book coming out, which is usually every August, I have to pick it up. I don't always love everything that I've read by Renee Carlino. There are several. Swear on This Life is the one that's sticking out, and that's almost everyone's favorite. Everybody loves that book. I did not care for that book at all. The one last year, Blind Kiss, I loved that one. And then the one before, I think it was called Wish You Were Here. I really liked that one. This one, again, is called The Last Post. It's about a girl whose husband dies and she finds his last Facebook post, and I don't know if that like upsets her and she doesn't understand it, or it like helps her get over her grief, something about his Facebook post. And then she also falls in love with somebody else that ties into the whole storyline. I don't know. But again, it's Renee Carlino, so I'm going to read it. Next one up, we have Catherine Center's new book, Things You Save in a Fire. Catherine Center's debut book last year, How to Walk Away, I think. I read it. I really liked it. I didn't love it like everyone seems to have loved it, but I really liked it. It is about a female firefighter who kind of faces some backlash for being a female firefighter because, you know, that career path is driven by males, but she is a female firefighter and something happens. That's pretty much all I know. It's a romance, so somehow she falls in love with another firefighter, or somebody she saves in a fire. I don't know, but I flew through her first book, Catherine Center's first book, and again I liked it, but I'm anxious to see if this one is going to live up to all the hype that it's getting, because whew, I haven't heard a bad thing about this book, so I'm really excited to read it. Okay, the next one up on my list, I started not to put it on my list because it is a lengthy book. It is 450 pages, and I'm afraid that a long book like that is going to push me into a reading slump when everything is so busy, but I've heard amazing things about this book. It's called The Gifted School. This one, I love anything surrounding a boarding school. I love boarding school books, even if they're not thrillers, if they're just romances or just general fiction. I love books that are set at a boarding school. This one is very timely because it's about a group of parents that like do these crazy things and pay these, you know, huge amounts of money to get their kids into, I'm assuming, the gifted school. And I don't know if it's just like a character study or if there's more of a plot and something happens, but a girl I follow on Instagram, she read it and just raved about it and gave it 5 stars and said it was one of her favorite books of the year. So I'm really excited to read it. I'm hoping it doesn't put me in a slump though, because it is kind of long. Okay, the last 2 that I have, no, I have 3, but the next 2 I'm going to talk about are thrillers. This one is Sherry Lapina's newest book, Someone We Know. I know nothing about this. It's just Sherry Lapina. She's one of my favorite thriller writers. She wrote The Couple Next Door. Loved it. So good. One of my favorites. Then she wrote A Stranger in the House, I think. think that's what it's called. Something About a Stranger in the House. It was great. I loved it even more. Then she wrote An Unwanted Guest last year, and I did not like that one. Oof, I really didn't like that one. It was like a giant game of Clue, and it was set in like a cabin in the woods, which was my #1 problem because I read it in September, and like the whole entire thing is set over a weekend where it's like in the middle of a snowstorm. So it just like if I had read it during Christmas, maybe I would have enjoyed it more. I also don't like books that are set like in one place in a small amount of time, so it just wasn't the book for me. But this one I'm hoping is good. I have not heard a lot of people talk about it, and she's an extremely popular thriller writer, but I haven't heard a lot about it. So I'm excited to read it though, because except for last year's release, she's one of my favorites. Then I have Ruth Ware's newest book, The Turn of the Key. This is our La La Life book club August pick. Still have not got to that yet, so it may roll into September before I can read it. I'm gonna start it after the book that I'm reading right now, so it may be like late August, early September when I get to this one. Ruth Ware is another one of she's another author that I loved. Her first book that I read, I don't know if it was her debut novel, but In a Dark Wood, that was one of my favorite books, favorite thrillers. Then she wrote The Woman in Cabin 10. Didn't like that one. Then she wrote The Lying Game. I didn't even get through that one. I had to DNF it. And then I never have read The Death of Mrs. Westaway. But a YouTuber, a booktuber, she said this is her favorite Ruth Ware book. So I'm really excited to read this one now, and I have high hopes for it. And then the last one that I have, I'm not entirely sure if it's, I think it's a thriller. It may just be more general fiction, but it's Erin Kelly's new book, Stone Mothers. I don't know how many books Erin Kelly has. The only other one I know is, what's it called? Well, no. I was thinking, oh yeah, He Said, She Said. That's the one that I know, and I have it somewhere, but I haven't read it yet. I haven't got to it. But this one sounds really good because it's about this girl who has a boyfriend, and the best friend dies, and I think they help each other bury the body. I don't know if they kill her or if it's an accident or they stumble upon her dead body, but the boyfriend and the girlfriend bury the body, and then years later she moves away, and then years later she comes back. I think, I just briefly, because I don't like to get too in depth with thrillers, I think that's what happened, and it just sounds so much like Jar of Hearts by Jennifer Hillier. Oh my goodness, that's one of my favorites. I love Jar of Hearts. I recommend it to so many people, but I'm hoping it's like that one, because Jar of Hearts is just phenomenal, and this one, when I just scanned the synopsis, that's what it reminded me of. So I'm hoping to love this one, and I'm hoping it gives me Jar of Heart vibes. Okay, so there are the 6 books that I hope to get to during the month of September. Back in with you guys at the end of the month and share my thoughts and what I got through, what I added to the pile if something didn't make the cut, or if I found something else. I'm hoping it's a great reading month and that I get through all of these 6 books, and then I add some more to the list too. So I will see you guys at the end of the month. Bye.